Knowlton is located in Dorset, west of New Forest and Ringwood. There are Neolithic Henges, Bronze Age barrows, Roman field lines, Anglo-Saxon burial sites and a Norman church in Knowlton. There are quite a few Henges around Knowlton, of which Stonehenge is the most famous. These Henges were either used for basic meetings of locals or for pagan ceremonies of the time, either put up as larger shelters from the elements or for remembering the dead. Great Barrow here, just east of the church, is the largest barrow in Dorset. Barrows were funerary mounds where both intact inhumations and cremations placed in vessels can be found. After the Roman decline, Anglo-Saxons clashed with the native Britons. King Arthur is placed at around 500 after Christ, the favorite fable attached to many findings. Many visitors at Knowlton Church are drawn to neo-paganism, often holding a fantasized view of what was the reality in these pagan cultures. This remembrance tree holds messages to the dead. My own father passed away recently. He is with Jesus now, with a unique one that holds the keys over death to eternal life. I pass on my messages by praying with Jesus. On these Knowlton church fields, people have reported of a haunted story of a caped rider with a giant hound roaming through fields at different times. Maybe he's King Arthur's knight, caring for the old New Forest of this Christian king, guardian of the woods, from goblins perhaps. Goblins who might have had their shrine destroyed. Around 900 after Christ, King Alfred fought remaining Vikings of Danelagh, and his grandson Aethelstan unified England, son of Edward the Elder, and Egwin Aethelstan finished his father's conquests. There were more struggle with Vikings until Normans landed. William the Conqueror took over at 1066. Knowlton Norman Church was built of stone and flint in the 12th century. The line of the roof remains clearly visible on its eastern face. Domesday Book mentions Knowlton. Lack of use left church by itself in the 16th century. There are mentions of Black Death as the reason. Maybe this is also the reason why a weeping nun has been seen outside of the churchyard, or maybe she remains since the Protestant rebellion. After centuries of additions and alterations, lack of use and revival of the church roof finally collapsed in the 18th century and turned into ruins of today. Now a ruin for tourists, mainly local but of all accents. People come here mostly because of curiosity. Curious minds seeking for answers. Knowlton Norman Church in its heyday answered every question a thirsty mind could come up with. Water was served from the everlasting fountain. Latin, Anglo-Saxon, from Old English to Modern English, change in language, and movements of people have likely been less dramatic than usually is depicted in movies. The romanticization of the history of Vikings and pagan Britons is taking place. This phenomena is comparable to the laissez-faire of Islam today. Entering this church does give hope. Erasure of good in the land will not happen overnight, although the pagan ideas land here and bathe in the sun in relative peace. When times get more troublesome, this church and what it represents is the only place to find joy, a place to find hope that overcame death. Hope in Jesus, the King of Kings. Who has the power over all spirits, those warring against like the dwellers in this tree shrine, those for peace, who built this church for worship of the living God. This is an example of his sword, which is the word. Third tale on this church is a figure seen in the top window. Maybe it is the thief who have been said to have stolen the church bell that was sunk into a river with the help from a witch. An expert climber risked their ankles tying ribbons in the tower, similar to Turkish wishes or Oriental prayer trees. Seek and find. Jesus answers prayers. His laws written in our hearts resonate when encountering truth. Sun shines on both the good and the bad. The sword that divides the land into the shadow, and the sun cutting through the ruins of our hearts, cleansing the dirt, renewing us and refreshing us, guiding towards new experiences, to new thoughts on the ages, what is to be and what not, and guiding us finally to home.